ChatGPT processes 2.5 billion prompts every single day, and 50% of consumers are already using AI to search, which means your content isn't just being read by humans anymore, it's being read and judged by machines. And the way those machines read content is completely different from how Google does it. In this video, I'm going to break down how exactly LLMs like ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini interpret your web pages and what you need to change so they actually recommend your brand. Here's the reality most marketers are missing. You have spent years optimizing for Google, keywords, backlinks, page speed, meta tags, and all of that still matters, but it's no longer enough. Because when someone types a question into ChatGPT, they don't get a list of links. They get an answer, and that answer is built from content that AI systems could actually understand, not just content that ranked, content that was machine readable. And if your content isn't structured the right way, the AI ignores it. Or worse, it misrepresents your brand. Think about that. A potential client asks ChatGPT about your service. The AI gets your brand wrong because your content gave it unclear signals. That's not hypothetical, that's happening right now to brands across every industry. This is why AEO, answer engine optimization, is the most important shift in content marketing in 2026, and it starts with understanding how these systems actually work. Section 1, how LLMs actually read your content. Let's start with the basics. LLMs don't read your web page like a human. They don't scan it like Google's crawler either. Every piece of text you write goes through three-stage pipeline. Stage 1, tokenization. Stage 2, embeddings. And stage 3, representation. Let me make each of these simple. Tokenization is how AI breaks your text into pieces, not words, pieces. The word optimization might become three separate tokens: opt, im, and ization. A long paragraph that could be 50 to 80 tokens. A clean, short sentence, 10 to 12 tokens. Why does this matter? Short paragraph tokenized cleanly. The model can clearly see where one idea ends and another begins. Long, dense paragraph create noise. Meaning gets diluted across too many tokens. So the very first thing that affects your AI visibility is how you write your sentences. Short, clear, and one idea at a time. Now, embedding. Once your text is tokenized, the model converts those tokens into numbers, mathematical vectors that represent meaning. Think of it as AI translating your words into a language that it actually understands: numbers, coordinates, and dimensions. This is where precision matters enormously. If your brand name is written in five different ways across your website, content strategy consulting on one page, content consulting on another, and strategy content services on the third, the model creates multiple weak representation instead of one strong one. Your brand becomes blurry inside the AI, and a blurry brand doesn't get recommended. Here's something most marketers never think about. The first 200 tokens of your page carry disproportionate weight in the model. Early content receives strong attention during embedded formation. This is why answer first formatting works. Put your definition at the top, put your answer before your explanation. Don't make the AI work to find what your page is about. Section 2, how LLMs read entire web pages. Now let's zoom out. When ChatGPT, Perplexity, or Gemini pulls your web page, it doesn't read the whole thing. It goes through retrieval pipeline, and that pipeline has 5 steps. Step 1, content extraction. No navigation, no buttons, no ads, no footer, no CSS, no pop-ups, just the raw text. If your core content is buried under a massive banner or a slider or heavy block elements at the top, the AI may miss it entirely. Step 2, chunking. This is the most important step most marketers never think about. After extraction, the AI breaks your content into chunks, small segment of 128 to 512 tokens each. Each chunk is treated as an independent unit of meaning. The LLM does not read your full page, it only sees chunks that score the highest for the query being asked. This has massive implications. If your page mixes three different topics in one long paragraph, the chunks from that section become noisy. The model can't tell what the main idea is and it skips them. But if your page has clean H2 and H3 sections, each covering one topic clearly, those chunk scores well. They get surfaced, they get used. And this is why Q&A formatting performs so well for AEO. One question, one clear answer, and one clean chunk. Step 3, embedding each chunk. Every chunk gets turned into a vector and stored in a database. Perplexity uses a combination of keyword matching and neural embeddings. ChatGPT uses Bing's neural ranking plus OpenAI summarization. Gemini uses Google's internal retrieval stack. These are different systems, but they all work the same way at the core. They compare the mathematical meaning of your chunk to the mathematical meaning of the query. Tightly scoped, clearly written sections score higher. Dense and mixed paragraph score lower. Step 4, query matching. The AI calculates how similar your chunk is to what the user has asked. It looks at a semantic similarity, clarity of meaning, and the length of the chunk, position in the document, and whether the chunk contains a definition, a step, or a direct answer. A clear heading like how to optimize content for ChatGPT creates an embedding that matches users' queries precisely. A vague heading like some things to keep in mind create a weak, fuzzy embedding. That's the difference between being cited and being ignored. Step 5, re-ranking. Before your chunk reaches the LLM, the system re-ranks everything using additional signals, freshness, authority, citations patterns, and quality checks. This is where brands with a stronger cross-web signals get prioritized. Even if your content is better written, this is why isn't just a content play, it's a brand's signals play. Section 3, how LLMs synthesize answers. Once the retrieval pipeline is done, the LLMs takes the top chunks, usually 2 to 5 pieces from your page, and synthesizes them into an answer. Here's what happens in that synthesis stage. First, it retrieves the top chunks. If your page has 30 sections, it may only use 3 of them. The rest are ignored. Second, it re-evaluates those chunks for intent fit. Does this chunk match what the user actually wants? Third, it creates micro summaries of each chunk. This is where your clear structure and concise writing pay off. If your section is crisp and the summary is accurate, if it's vague, the summary gets distorted. Fourth, it merges overlapping ideas and removes contradictions. If two sections of your content say slightly different things about the same topic, the model gets confused. It might discard both. One inconsistency can weaken your entire page's interpretability. Fifth, it filters everything through quality and coherence check. Weak, vague, ambiguous chunks get removed before generation. Sixth, it rewrites everything into a natural answer. Here's the key insight: LLMs don't copy your text, they interpret, compress, merge it, and regenerate it. Your contents need to survive that entire process to make it into the final answer. Section 4, the common mistakes that kill LLM visibility. Now let's talk about what goes wrong. These are the most common technical failure modes we see on client sides. Mistake 1, inconsistent entity naming. If your brand or service is named differently across pages, the model builds multiple weak embeddings instead of one strong one. your brand becomes blurry. Pick one name, use it consistently, define it clearly on your main pages. Mistake 2: long, mixed topic sections. If one paragraph covers three ideas, your chunk becomes noisy. The model retrieves them for the wrong queries or doesn't retrieve them at all. One section, one topic every time. Mistake 3: bridging errors. This happens when your chunk partially matches a query but is missing key information. The model fills the gap using its training data, and that training data might reference a competitor or get the answer wrong. This is one of the biggest causes of AI inaccuracies about brands. The fix: make your content complete within each section. Don't assume that the reader will fill in the blanks. Mistake 4: outdated content. Perplexity and Gemini heavily weight freshness. If your page has an old timestamp, old references, and no indications about being recently updated, the model prefers newer sources. Even if those sources are lower quality, update your cornerstone pages every 60 to 90 days at minimum. Mistake 5: weak internal linking. Internal links create semantic pathways. They signal to the retrieval system that your content is part of a coherent topic cluster. Without those links, your chunks appear isolated. The model underestimates your authority on the topic. Mistake 6: hedged and indirect writing. LLMs require explicit declarative sentences to anchor facts. If your writing is hedged, this might be useful, or it could be argued that the model can't confirm the factual basis. It supplements with its own training data, which may be wrong. Write with confidence, state things clearly. Section 5: the technical checklist. Let me give you a practical checklist. These are the 10 things every page needs to be LLM interpretable. 1. Short sentences, no dense paragraph. 2. Distinct H2 and H3 section, one topic per section. 3. Answer first formatting, start with the answer, then explain. 4. Consistent entity naming, one name for your brand and services, always. 5. Standard industry terminology, don't invent unique terms for common concepts. 6. Structured data, FAQ schema, how to schema, and organization schema. 7. Freshness signals, update cornerstone pages regularly. 8. Retrieval optimized formats. Use steps for how to content, tables for comparisons, short answer blocks for definitions. 9. Internal linking. Build topic clusters, interlink related pages. 10. Brand validation loop. Ask ChatGPT how it describes your brand, then fix the gaps through clear content updates. That last one is something most agencies never do. We do it for every client. Let me tell you why this matters from our own experience. Our website 0 to 9 marketing gets 50 referrals from Google and 11 from ChatGPT every month organically. No paid search, no paid placement, just content that's structured the right way. Across the 50 plus brands we have worked with, 40% average increase in within 6 months and 150% increase in AI citations within 6 months. And none of them came from guessing. It came from understanding exactly how these systems work at the technical level and building content that passes through every stage of pipeline cleanly. If you want your brand to show up in AI answers, not just Google results, this is the work. It's technical, but it's learnable. And once you build content that's machine readable, you get visibility across Google, ChatGPT, Perplexity, and Gemini for the same pages. That's the leverage. If you want us to audit your content and show you exactly where your LLM visibility is breaking down, DM the word visible or click the link in the description. No pressure, no pitch, just a clear data backed look at where you stand. See you in the next one. Let's make your brand impossible to ignore.